Yes, tonight we pay tribute to colleague and friend Archie Pitts, of course. Archie, this is your Leamington Society, Leamington Society life, but we're going to also interweave it with a look back as the Leamington Society celebrates its 65 years, as Sydney said a little bit earlier on. So, formed back in 1956 to save many of the threatened buildings in Leamington, let's have a look back at some of the key achievements, and I'm sure some of you will know and remember some of these. In the 1960s, the Society fought to save the town hall from being sold. And then in the 80s, the pump room and baths, the Society campaigned with others to prevent those and the gardens as well being sold for development as a private health clinic. And actually, if you step back and think about that today, that would just be extraordinary, wouldn't it, if that actually had happened. The Adelaide Road Bridge, the bridge was saved from replacement by a concrete alternative, or alternative as it says there. Instead, it was substantially rebuilt in 1993. Achievements continued for the Society, but in 2002, Archie and Marianne joined the committee of the Society, and 2 years later, Archie became the chairman. In that year, he also took over the Society's newsletter, which he's produced ever since. And even that alone, I think, is an incredible achievement. To produce something of such great quality 4 times a year for so long is really rather remarkable. In 2004, he organised the Society Awards, which he continued up until 2014. The Friends of the Station, the Friends of Leamington Station, started in 2005, and Archie's been the chair since then. And just as an aside, as a personal thing, for somebody who, not at the moment, but normally spends his life travelling up and down to Birmingham and getting on ridiculously early trains at 6:30 in the morning and 6:45, the gardens throughout the year, but sometimes almost more in the winter, are an absolute joy and delight. And so thank you, Archie, and everybody, I think, who's involved in those gardens. They're just beautiful, and really lift your heart when you're there and it's 6:30 in the morning and it's cold and it's icy, and also are just lovely to come back to, because it feels that you've come home. And so just, big thanks from me, because as a commuter on that line, it's just lovely to see them. He raised an incredible £70,000 to develop all of that, along with the super amazingly wonderful heritage posters in the waiting room, the GWR benches, the running in boards, the booking hall clock, and of course the war memorial and a remembrance service is held every year. Here's a picture back in 2009 with Archie, Marianne, and the mayor of the time, and also Ian Baxter, the president of the Friends of the Leamington Station. And I think Ian is on the call and wants to say a few words in a moment or two. So Ian, that's your little tee up for a couple of moments' time. So the Friends of the Pump Room Gardens came into being in 2008, and Archie was the chair. He started raising yet more money, and the linden arches were replaced beautifully in 2012. Plans were made then to restore the Pump Room Gardens and the bandstand, and Archie helped Warwick District Council gain heritage lottery funding in late 2015 for the restoration. So by now, Archie had raised over £200,000 for these 2 projects, which is an incredible achievement and an incredible sum. Meanwhile, the Society continued its work, and in 2013, it campaigned to stop the Shandor Street car park from becoming a shopping centre. And in 2014, because of prompt action by the Society, achieved Grade 2 listing for the former post office, protecting it for the future. In 2006, Archie was very much involved in the planning appeal on the station approach site, and was determined to save the town from poor housing development that was proposed at the time. The appeal was dismissed, which is just as well because last year the replacement, new development, won a Building Excellent Award. So what do people think of Archie? We've asked a few. Archie has shown ambition for the town he loves and persistence in aiming high and gaining the support of others for his project. A local hero. The Rottweiler, when he gets his teeth into something, he will never let go. Archie truly is a Leamington legend who leaves a society in town much enhanced and restored through his passion, vision, commitment, and quite brilliant ability to fundraise. So based on those sorts of comments, it's not surprised that in 2019, Archie and Marianne were given the title, the Leamington Legends. And here's Steph from BID sharing in that moment. Well, it would seem a little bit strange, I think you'd agree, for us to do a tribute to Archie this evening without mentioning Marianne, of course, always there to support him and equally passionate about Leamington Town, Royal Leamington Spa and our town. So Marianne, thank you very much as well. So every time you see the Linden Arches, the bandstand, the pump room gardens, the wonderful plants and everything at the station and everything else, think of Archie and his determination to make Royal Leamington Spa a better place for us all. Archie, thank you very much. And I think, Ian, you would like to say a few words.
Thank you very much, David. I'm Ian Baxter. When I first met Archie and Marianne, it was in the autumn of 2004 when I was a business development manager for Chiltern Railways. I went on to become a director of Chiltern Railways, and as a Warwickshire boy born in Solihull, I was so proud to be a director of the railway, the Great Western Railway, on the line I grew up on. But I came to the Leamington Society in that autumn of 2004. My parents, who are long dead now, they came to that meeting as well, which was very nice. They travelled from Solihull to come to that meeting. We, Chiltern Railways, had just taken over Leamington Spa Station, and I think you know that we were a very ambitious group of people in those days at Chiltern to really transform it and make it better. And I came with also real ambition for the beautiful heritage of Leamington Spa Station, which, as you know, was rebuilt by the Great Western Railway in 1939, just before the Second World War, in its Art Deco features and style. And in many ways, Leamington Station was very fortunate to have been benignly neglected by the railway industry, who hadn't completely wrecked it, which was rather wonderful. And I came and did a presentation making a few suggestions about what might be done to the station in terms of restoring its heritage, and saying it would be very good, I'd very much welcome it if the Leamington Society perhaps had ideas about how somebody might help and people might help. Well, it was Archie who didn't just respond to the suggestions with enthusiasm. He just got on and started to make it happen, and has carried on doing that throughout the years. And I'm now, as was said, I'm now one of the two presidents of the Friends of Leamington Station. I don't work for Chiltern Railways anymore, but still make things happen on the big railway. And I just wanted to reflect really just a little bit, just for a couple more minutes, on the scale of achievement that Archie has made happen together with the Friends, and undeniably with the unstinting support of Marianne. And Marianne is as much a heroine as Archie is a hero here. There's no question of this. And in fact, I can't quite forget Marianne playing the Queen on Leamington Spa Station a few years ago, and one naturally had to deal with her with the utmost respect that you would give to Her Majesty. But Archie led just getting on with things. The running in boards went up, the replicas of what the Great Western had put there. And do you know what the running in boards do? Aside from beauty, They just announce the station in a visual way that everyone can see when you're on a train. Really simple, straightforward, brilliant, beautifully done. The benches, Great Western Railway benches, they were intrinsic to the whole philosophy that Archie has, and I fundamentally supported all the way through at Chiltern Railways, which was, let's do these beautiful things to the heritage of the station, but let's make sure they work for passengers, that it makes life better for the passengers travelling on the railway. And so all those GWR benches didn't just look beautiful, they created many more spaces for people to sit down. It was beautifully straightforward. I don't think we should, any of us, underestimate the scale of achievement of becoming the best garden in the UK, Country Life, in 2009. Not the best railway garden, not the best small garden, not the best specialist garden, the best garden. And that was a remarkable and brilliant achievement. And I still use it as an encouragement to others. I recently did a presentation in Droitwich Spa on Zoom like this to a team that wants to set itself up. And it doesn't have quite such a beautiful station left to look after. But the achievement of Leamington Friends, and also that Country Life Award in particular, I very much give credit to the, as an example, pour encourager les autres. The booking hall had been plasticized by British Railways in the 1970s, and the Friends really were absolutely central in helping us do wonderful things like the restoration or the replica clock and the lovely tiling, beautiful attention to detail. And one of the things I think Archie and I agree on 100% is, why do it wrong when you can do it right? And that's been a consistent part of everything the Friends have done. The waiting rooms with their beautiful parquet flooring, the fantastic posters, the posters advertising all the beautiful places in this country you can go to by rail from Leamington Spa Station. And I think I want to lastly on this point come to the remembrance services. The Roll of Honour sat in my house in Highley in Shropshire, at Highley railway station actually, for a couple of years after we'd opened, we'd installed one at Birmingham Moor Street. And Archie and the Friends were hugely enthusiastic to have this here at Leamington Spa. I think the fact that those of you who've been to those remembrance services on the station, which have been going on for over 10 years now, they help us remember real human beings by name who were railway staff who gave their lives in the First World War and in the Second World War, and people, their relatives, still come to those remembrance services, and they're a really profound statement of Leamington Spa and its importance and our recollection of important people and their contribution. And Archie, again, absolutely central to making that happen when it started and every year since. I really want to say just two final things then. I think Archie has played a leading part in making Leamington Spa railway station a fantastic gateway to and from the beautiful town of Royal Leamington Spa. And I'm proud of Royal Leamington Spa station, and I know Archie is, and I think we all have every reason to thank him for the unstinting commitment and work he's put into that. And lastly, I just want to say I found him to be a gentleman of courtesy, drive, energy and commitment. And I have been through some losses in recent years, and Archie and Marianne have always also been tremendous friends. So I pay great tribute to Archie and to Marianne.
Ian, thank you very much. I think we know we can't hear it, but I think there's certainly a round of applause. Ian, thank you very, very much indeed for that lovely, lovely tribute. Well, there's just one final thing we have to do, Archie, before we finish this evening, and that's something which I hope Marianne may be hovering Oh, she is hovering. Excellent. In the background. Great. Is it just perfectly on cue, Marianne? That's wonderful. I don't know if you want to unmute yourself, Archie, because what we'd like to do now is to present you with a gift. Please accept this token of our gratitude and appreciation for everything you've done for the Leamington Society and for Leamington Spa as well. And hopefully, Marianne, you'd like to give it over. Very good. Thank you.
If everyone would like to unmute themselves, then they will be able to hear the clapping.
Good thinking, Sydney.
Well done, Archie.
Thank you. But first, let me see what is inside this beautifully wrapped container.
We're all dying to know.
Up against
Ah, yes, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh,
Having spent 30 years there, that is welcome, very welcome. Thank you. Oh, and the back,
described.
and that is where I work exactly. In, I'm not sure which room, but yeah, yes.
Open it up because I think there's an inscription.
Ah, that is beautifully done.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
Yes, that's always.
Well, thank you very much to everyone. Be careful where I put this so it doesn't get messed up. Thank you, David, and thank you, Ian, for those very kind words. Marion and I have been involved in these big projects, the station, the heritage features, and the gardens, and then the pump room gardens, ever since, as Ian explained, 2004, when we first came to be involved in the station. We've also been involved in more minor projects, and all of these projects have involved work, obviously, for both of us, but we don't regret it. One of the great payoffs of being involved in these projects is having to work with lots of other people who have gone on to be extremely good friends. And that is a valuable addition to the work that we have done. So we've really benefited from all the involvement that we've been engaged in.
absolutely.
So thank you. So thank you to all of you who have worked with us and alongside us. So I'm retiring from the committee, as you've heard,
Society.
but not from the society, no. I'll be here, a thorn in people's flesh, if so be it.
good to hear it.
For as long as I can be. So thank you all, and thank you for that very excellent present, extremely well appreciated. So bye.